also a cat person. It's just that I think dogs seem to be more popular. And let me just tell you my personal reason for understanding why. I believe that women and cats are more evolved species, but I just have a great weakness for men and for dogs. Sometimes it's been comforting, sometimes it's caused trouble, but that's my weakness. But so I can't imagine anybody doesn't love dogs, but if you don't, please bear with us, because this applies to us as human beings as well. What do dogs do so that we all love them, let them sleep in our bed, kiss them on their lips, and make them part of our families? What do they do to be so successful in human relations and at networking? First of all, they honestly believe there is no time like now. And they don't wake up in the morning and think, oh God, another day. They jump up and start sniffing around to find out if you're going to feed them immediately, or if there's a toy they forgot about last night, or something. So the first thing you need to do is to train yourself to have that attitude. And I come from a long line of depressives, and for years my first thought every morning was, oh my God, another day. And I'm a little long in the tooth, but about 5 years ago, it dawned on me that that was really destructive. So now I train myself every morning, and I say, I can hardly wait for my feet to hit the floor. So get that dog attitude. There is no time like now. The next thing is be true to your brand. Now, what is your brand? You know, we all try to complicate the branding thing. Your brand, whether it's your firm's brand or your personal brand, is a reflection of who you are as a human being. And you've got to look at yourself and figure out who that person is and how can you exhibit that to the outside world. For instance, I would love not to color my hair. I'm sure it's a shock to you that I color my hair. But my brand, I'm a redhead. That's my brand, so I can't change that. So do the outside world a favor, look interiorly, figure out what it is about you that's different, what it is about you that you can exaggerate, to let people see who you are immediately so that there aren't a lot of questions. You don't want to adopt a dachshund expecting to have a German Shepherd. So let them know what kind of puppy you are. Do your research. Now, one of the things about human beings is when we see each other, we immediately make a decision based on our gut about the value of that other person. Dogs have a much more scientific way of doing it. Now, I'm not encouraging you to go around spelling each other, but you've got to do your research, not just in business, but you've got to do your research in life, too. And I don't mean just factual research, finding out what's true, what's there, what do they think. You've got to do emotional research. You've got to really pay attention to other people the way your dog pays attention to you. You know how they know when you put on lipstick? That you have a better chance of going out immediately. Mine starts when I flush the toilet. Oh, we're going out. Shoes is a big giveaway. They are so attuned to us emotionally. So that's the kind of research that you want to do. You want to be sure that you're paying attention to every aspect of other people and every aspect of the information. And it will expand your universe if you pay that kind of attention. It also will help you support your brand because you're getting emotional feedback all the time from other people if you're really paying attention to that. That was my favorite slide. One of the things we love about these little monsters is they show enthusiasm. And I love those people who say, I don't care if people like me. We'll put them in a room with a bunch of other people, and a dog walks in and runs around and jumps on everybody and licks everybody else except for them. I personally take that personally. But the dog doesn't like me? Because show your enthusiasm. That's one of the reasons that we love dogs. When I leave my Frankie, I always tell Frankie I'll be back in 5 minutes. Whether I'm going to the grocery store or whether I'm coming to Pittsburgh, I'll be back in 5 minutes. And when I come home, it doesn't matter if it's been 5 minutes or 5 days, he acts like it is the most exciting thing that has ever happened. And you know those people in your office that when you see them, they're excited to see you. Don't you love them? They're so intelligent. It's true. So start making sure that you show your enthusiasm and that you show your enthusiasm, that you just don't say your enthusiasm. I mean, when you're talking to clients, rather than we're really excited about the project, if you say, you know, September 18th, 2018, when your new headquarters opens, the mayor will be cutting the ribbon, and people will arrive from all around town to enter the iconic structure that represents what your firm stands for. I've shown my enthusiasm by paying attention to all of the details of their project. So start figuring out how you can show enthusiasm besides just looking happy to see other people. But get into the details of it. It's not generic enthusiasm. Make it particular to that person and that person's interest if you possibly can. Oh, I forgot that one. She's a pony. That's a pony smile. She doesn't know that. This one is sweet. Show your appreciation. You know, people take for granted that you understand, that you appreciate what they're doing for you. Let them know, and once again, like a good thank you note, let them know specifically what you appreciate, and let everyone know about it. Those of you who know me have heard this story many times, but my favorite is the bathroom people. When I'm in an airport and I see someone who's cleaning the ladies' room, I always stop and say, hey, thank you so much. It is so nice to have a clean restroom when you're traveling. And they almost faint because people just ignore them. So when you show enthusiasm, when you show your appreciation, you're validating other human beings. And everybody longs to be validated. Longs to be validated. So make that a point and look around for opportunities to do that. Make eye contact with everyone you deal with. Don't give your keys to the valet without looking at him or her. You know, acknowledge that person, validate that person. Another thing that dogs do is they respond to love immediately and enthusiastically, and they even respond to like. You know, don't you love that picture? It's kind of so sweet. They respond to like. So if you're dealing with someone who isn't emotionally capable of showing a lot of enthusiasm to you, but they're paying attention to you, you know that they like you. So respond to that. Don't wait for somebody to come in a cheerleader outfit yelling your name and doing a dance. If they're paying attention to you, you respond and you show that you appreciate them, you validate them, and you let them know how much it means to them that they like you. Anybody who doesn't like people who like them? It's my favorite thing about people. They like me, I love them. They're more intelligent and they're better looking than the average population. Look at that baby. Loyalty. Dogs are the most loyal creatures. Now Frankie, my Frankie has some issues. He would follow me into a burning building, but he won't go up in one room in our house where he thinks there's a ghost. But dogs are so loyal, they will follow you into burning buildings. They'll stick with you in war. They will be with you. Practice that. Practice loyalty. The people who help you, the people who support you, don't ever let them down. And if you do let them down, go and tell them how sorry you are and apologize and explain how that happened. Don't just never see them again because it's too embarrassing. We've all done that. Play, play, and have to play. I had a wonderful thing happen. I was doing an interview prep, and this fellow walked in, and he was a scary-looking guy. He sort of looked like Mike Tyson, and he was a super. And I was asking them how they would introduce themselves, and everybody else was struggling with it, and he looked at me and he said, well, you know, my name is Eric Smith, and I'm retired as far as I'm concerned. You know, I had jobs for years, but I started in the building industry, and ever since then, all I've done is have fun. All I do is play all day on behalf of my client on the site. I was so impressed with that. And he was a very tough-looking guy that completely softened him. The fact that he views his job as the most fun of anything he does, and he's a super, which is the key person when the hiring process is happening. That's who they want to look at. Drink lots of water, eat wisely, and sleep a lot. Those are not things to be dismissed. Pay attention to those. I have no idea what time I started. Who can tell me?
Right there in front of you.
Well, that's how much time I have left. Great, okay, sorry, excuse me. I had 2 hours of sleep. I got in here yesterday at 5 a.m. As they say, 5 a.m. in the morning. So I was in bed for 2 hours. And I'm a sleeper. I believe in that, sleeping. Finally, 2 of the greatest qualities in life are patience and wisdom. Now, not all dogs have that. But this is something that the smart dogs have that we should all practice. I had a dog once that met a porcupine under the house up in the country, and oh my God, it was horrible. So I took him to the vet, and she said, well, you can't let him out anymore because he'll go back in there looking for the porcupine. I said, no, you don't know him. He'll never go there again. So I would come out the front door and go in the other direction. He did not want to meet that porcupine again. But he didn't have the same attitude. He liked the skunks. He wanted to meet them over and over, preferably, you know, in the middle of the night when I had to get up and nourish him. But yeah, so patience and wisdom. What is wisdom? Wisdom is paying attention and developing common sense. Wisdom is having good manners. The reason that I love the AEC industry is you're the last people on the planet that understand cause and effect. That's wisdom. Cause and effect. People have started thanking me for my wisdom. I know that's a code word, so I'm not happy about that, but they never did that 10 years ago. Enjoy your journey. Enjoy your journey. Every day, figure out a way to enjoy it. At one time, I was in a very black place in my life, and I didn't know what to do. This was maybe 15 years ago, and since then, Oprah has recommended it. There's no connection to that, but you know, there's nothing new under the sun. But I sort of came up with this on my own. I was so depressed, and every day I would write down one good thing in the little book that I bought, a special little book. And I started out writing, what a great cup of coffee I had this morning. And in no time at all, my book was full of good stuff. That changes your attitude, just like saying, I can hardly wait to get out of bed in the morning. So enjoy the journey. Look for stuff amusing. Look for stuff funny. Somebody said to me yesterday, oh, you have such an adventurous life. No, I have a life like everybody else has. I just constantly scurry around looking for unusual people and unusual things and watching people at the airport and trying to bite my tongue to say, who told you you could wear that? You know, if you didn't have on those shorts, we wouldn't know your legs were fat. You know? Look for stuff to amuse yourself. It makes your life so much better, and it makes you more fun to be around. Lastly, we have Frankie. Smile, Frankie. He says you can ignore me. He's not trainable, but he understands lipstick means we're about to go out. He understands shoes mean we're going out immediately. And he understands eat, but that's about it. He is a wonderful animal. It's just that he's stupid. But so there's a lesson there. Stupid people should not be dismissed. It's not their fault. No, I mean, truly. Everybody says, oh, she's so smart. Give her credit for being smart. Why do smart people get so much credit? They're born that way. Now, some people don't do anything with it. But don't be mean to stupid people. Be patient with them and try to develop some wisdom about it. So I want you to all go out there and wag your tails and look real excited and don't jump on people and run your tongue over their faces. So practice acting like a dog, work like a dog, and you will be more productive, you will be more popular, and most importantly, you will be a happier person. Thank you.
Shout out.